Hi everyone, back again for another mini lecture. This time we're going to be talking about Maslow's hierarchy. And what I want to talk about besides Maslow's hierarchy is also the family life cycle and how the two of them can mesh together and how they are extremely important to marketers. Let's start by taking a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As this diagram shows, Maslow arranged the needs, human basic needs, in an ascending order based on the importance to people. And his theory was that until the initial physiological needs were met, the people did not focus on the next level, which would then be safety. And once safety needs were met, then people would move on to looking to achieve or meet the needs of the next layer, which was social needs, and so on. And this is important for a lot of different reasons when you look at marketing. Okay, taking a look at the hierarchy, if you have, at the very bottom, we have physiological needs. We have physiological needs. And these are things such as hunger, thirst. If a person is hungry and they can't put food on their table, if they are unable to provide for their families, for their children, then they're not going to be interested in other things. They're not at a stage in their life where they're going to be looking for education, for housing, for fancy cars, for clothing. So marketers have to pay attention to where people are and what layer of Maslow's hierarchy they are currently residing. The second layer is the safety. And safety is things such as a good neighborhood, housing, security, protection. And again, once people are able to feed their families and take care of your physiological needs, they then focus on safety and being able to provide a decent place to live, an apartment, a home, in a good neighborhood with good school systems, just the basic needs for their family to feel secure. Then our next layer is social. And this is the need to belong. A sense of belonging, love, family, friendships, okay? These are the types of aspirations people have when they have met the other two of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then next we have the esteem needs. These are things such as recognition, status, belonging to a country club, having a fancy car, maybe taking nice vacations. Okay, but again, you can see that unless you have these other needs met first, people tend not to focus on the higher needs, which brings us to the top, which is self-actualization. This is when people try to rediscover themselves, things like philanthropy, helping out other people, maybe getting involved with volunteer work or sitting on board of directors, going to the opera or Broadway shows or to orchestra, concerts, things of that nature. It's a way for them to realize who they are as a person. So one of the things I like to talk about when we're dealing with Maslow's hierarchy is how marketing fits in. And again, it goes to different types of appeals, different type of advertising appeals. Think about when you're watching television and security systems advertise on TV. There's one for ADT and one for the Sloman Shield. And what fear are they playing on? They are playing toward safety. And if you know that advertisement, if you know that commercial, I'll try and find a link and post it on the blackboard to show it to you. Think about it. They are appealing to the consumer's need for safety. They want their family safe. They don't want to come home and have their house robbed or be asleep at night and find a burglar in the house. When you see an advertisement for a Mercedes, they certainly are dealing with the lower end of Maslow's hierarchy, but they are dealing more with this level up here, the need to feel recognition and status, a need to have a fancy car. Now, a Honda would do the same exact thing as a Mercedes. It gets you from point A to point B, but a Mercedes does it with a little more style, thus appealing to people at a higher level of Maslow's hierarchy. Now, the next thing I want to tie into this is the family life cycle. Now, there are many different things in regards to the family life cycle. that you need to consider when you're dealing with marketing. For starters, as this diagram shows, the typical family life cycle deals with things such as being a young adult, going out on your own, then becoming part of a family where you're married and you might have children, and there are different stages of having children. You have young little children, which creates a totally different sense of need within the family. Childcare, diapers, formula, little toys, things of that nature. Then as the children progresses to stage 2, they might be more into sports, after school activities. You might be into carpooling, play dates at the house. And then your third stage is when they're entering the teenage years. And you might be dealing with decisions regarding high schools. Should they go to public, parochial, or private? Do they need a car? How are they going to get back and forth to their own part-time jobs when they don't have a license yet? And then you continue on for when the children go to college. As a family unit, you have different decisions to make. However, that is changing because there are a lot of other variables in place. As this next diagram shows, it's not just as cut and dry as, you know, being a young adult, getting married, having children, happy family, kids go off to college, then you're a grandparent, and then you enjoy your golden years. Now there are other factors involved: being a single parent, being a divorced parent, being a widow, having stepchildren. There are a lot of different things that go into the family life cycle. And when you overlay the family life cycle with Maslow's hierarchy, you're going to see that there is a cycle to it. And when you are a young adult, you're dealing with a lot of different issues, such as getting a job, getting yourself secure, finding a place to live. It might not be your permanent place, but it's a place for you as a young adult to enjoy. And once you become married, you're going to go back and start all over again by looking for maybe a better house to live, for you to share with your spouse. Maybe finding a new neighborhood to live in because you're going to soon have children. There are different decisions that have to be made. And as you become comfortable in each of these stages, you can move up Maslow's hierarchy at each of these stages. But once you go to the next level, you might actually start back at the bottom again. Okay, feeling comfortable with your new life as a husband or a wife, getting promoted at a job, and suddenly you're a little nervous because you're not familiar with the job. Now with marketing, you have to understand the family life cycle and how you are marketing to these people, the types of advertisements, type of appeals, the type of market that you are going after is all going to depend on Maslow's hierarchy and understanding your target market and the message that is going to appeal to them based on their current stage in the family life cycle. Now this is all covered in chapter 6. I'd ask you to review this section. I think it's about page 92 to 96, 97, which concentrates on this particular topic. But think about, in addition to the concepts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, overlaying that with the family life cycle, because it's very important, again, from a marketing perspective.